One owner car guy, oneownercarguy.com. I do daily videos, daily vlogs, all kinds of different stuff. Matter of fact, I'll walk towards some of the kind of stuff that I do to where you can see. Today, we're going to show you how to build a brooding box. That's what it looks like. I'll tell you how much it costs and all that, and show you the plans for it. The plans. But all kinds of car videos, car stuff, raising chickens and pigs and baby beagles out here. I tell you, it's quite a life. Loving it. So, in Montana, and we needed a box for our chicks. And what you see online wouldn't handle, we're gonna have close to about 80 chicks. And it wouldn't handle it. So, this is what we got, and it is 4 foot by 4 foot. How tall is this? 2 foot? So you got 4 foot by 4 foot. And basically, here's the deal. How tall are these? 3 foot?
3 foot.
So you got, and look at this. We took all of our 2x4s. We had, and you might even have the, I keep calling it ODB.
What?
I know.
ODB?
ODB. So we had some things we pulled the nails out of and used some wood sitting around to make the legs. And for some reason, we held them up off the ground about a foot because, I mean, we got a concrete floor we're going to have them on. And Rich had a great idea on that where it's just going to be easier to keep the temperature. So all we did is he took a sheet of plywood. Actually, we did 2 sheets. And he cut them in half. And then he took half of it.
One sheet in half.
Cut it in half again. Right?
Well, we were building 2, so I just made the 2 bottoms out of the one.
And then cut the other ones in half.
2 sheets.
In half.
I didn't do that. I made 2.
What'd you do?
I made 2 of these out of 1 sheet, and then I took 2 sheets and cut them into strips.
So we got that left over?
No, that's the 2 sides for that one.
So out of 3 sheets, we've got the whole thing.
Yes.
And the base, you just notch it out. You can figure out how much that is. And basically, you'll have a little runner coming off these that that'll screw into. So you got your 3 foot legs on this, and they're just screwed directly onto it like a little, ooh. We're gonna have to do this a little bit more and make some signage for out front. So, a little piece of 2x4 screwed onto here, and I'll show you that when we do it on the other one. But real simple thing, there ain't really no plans except for, literally, if you was doing one of them, you could take a piece of 2x4, cut it in half. You're gonna need 2 sheets if you're doing one of them, because if you do it, you might as well just buy more chickens. That's right. Just get an extra 40 chickens and do 2 of them, because then you'll use all that second sheet. So 3 sheets of plywood and what? 6 is 12, plus 12 is 24. 24 foot of 2x4. But you might need the little extra you have left over. You can kind of use to make these little runner things here. They're 6-8 inches or so. But that's the deal, and that's the brooding box. I'm gonna always not know how to say that. Because the thing is, when you make a video on YouTube, you're always going to have somebody that says you said it wrong. No matter if you say it this way or that way, they say it the other way, and you're the idiot. It's just how it works.
Idiot.
See? So, it's just the way things work. But there'll be more little videos like this coming up. I'm just going to throw stuff up as we're doing this process, and probably not raising all the chickens because we're going to I'm believing we're going to have fatalities because we're not perfect at this. I ain't had chickens since I was 8 years old. We had them all until I was 8 to 10 years old. But shoot, that's like back in the 1940s. So here we go.
So I measured up some 6 inch pieces for my little stoppers. I'm gonna cut them up real quick. You notice I've got the sharpest blade they make.
Yeah, it's really sharp, I can tell. Another thing to mention is, don't cut your fingers off, yeah. It's gonna take some screws, and I'm lucky to have a box of screws, and I got power saws. It doesn't take a power saw, a table saw, chop saw, or nothing. You could do it with a hacksaw if you had to. I mean, go to the dollar store, they got little saws there. If you really needed to, you could do most of it. But a skill saw is gonna make it a lot easier for cutting your OSB. But hey, this is the deal. I'll tell you the cost on it.
So you take your little 6 inch block that you just cut, and I put them on this direction, that way you got the 2x4 sticking out into the underneath, so it's actually giving it more support. Whereas if you have it like this, it's only sitting on the 1.5 inch edge. So that's my reasoning for doing that. And I'll set it there, and then I just use these to block things up, just to put my weight on it. But you want it flush with the bottom of the wood.
In other words, just keep this and this about the same, to where it's kind of flush when you got it all up.
Yeah, but I'm gonna set this under here just to square it up.
And like you see, he's notching it to the front to where you can hold them up. And we'll get this one straight.
You want it flush with the bottom plywood. And then just that. And you can use, 1.5 or 1.25 screws for the whole thing, except for right here, you're going to need a couple of 2.5s or 3-inch screws. That's what you get when you don't use impact bits.
Breaks them off. So to do this whole project, you're going to need about 16 2.5 or 3-inch screws, and just figure 20 because you're going to mess a couple up or something. You're going to need a bit driver or a screwdriver, you know that thing, little power screwdriver or impact. You're going to need about 4, 8, 16, 32, I don't know, man, 80 screws. And then, what are we using for the other ones? Like inch and a quarter? Inch and a quarter almost. You can use 1.5 inch, 1/4. That's the deal. So total cost in this is about 37 bucks. No labor included, because you're making it yourself. But $37 worth of wood and screws and stuff like that. And that's figuring a little bit extra, but I had a lot of the screws and different things around here, and I use my own 2x4s. So if you have to buy 2x4s, you might have another 10 bucks in it. But now this is for 2 of them. And once again, they're 4x4. So it's rather large. And we're thinking if we hang our light over this, that we can just make it all work. And we might have to make some light holders on the side or rig something up some way. But we've got the Brooder lights. I'll bring everything else out later and show it all at one time.
Maybe I'll be able to lay it up and stand this up and do it by myself here. Oh, you get camera eyes.
It's a little bit hard to set them up by yourself, but if you leaned it up against something, that should work.
I'll get your kids or your buddy to come home for you.
The kids, they should be here anyways. You're having chickens. Oop. Almost too far.
There we go. And then just throw yourself a tack down here in the bottom. Yeah.
And once you're here, you're just going to put 2 of them right in there. And remember, they run along the inside. And 2 screws on each of them should hold it fine. And the way these chickens grow and stuff in the timeline, I figure by the time they outgrow these boxes, we ought to be able to put them in the coop and just keep the coop closed up and heat it a little bit. Because a couple weeks, they'll be down to 85, 80 in 3 weeks. I mean, by that time, it's time to be in the coop because it's getting warm by that time. So that's our stuff. I'll throw some more in when we get the area set up and what else we've got for this to make it work. And everything can be bought off Amazon and Home Depot. And here they are in action, and we just got the thermometer in here for the first time. Hope you can see. Hang on, maybe I'll do like this. There we go. And it's 82.2. So So I'm trying to get the temp up a little bit. We're going to have to lower this one down to the same height. Let me turn the light on for you and show you how it looks in the light. But it just looks so cool like that I wanted to show this. All right, so in the lights, here's how it looks. It's all done. I got a thermometer in here. Up to 82.9 already. Trying to get it to 95, of course. And we built this little, Rich built this little railing thing on here. And it's just little 2x cut in half. Screw here, a couple screws in there. Screw here, done deal. But we've got it plugged into one of these timers, or thermometer things. And we've got that down in there as well. 83.4, where it shuts it off. And all this stuff, the lights, the red lights inside, and this is the heat map thermostat we're using to shut the lights off. And not only that, the chicken feeders and all that, everything was bought on Amazon. So I figure in here by the engine blocks and stuff is the best place for her. I build cars, and that's a car that we have that needs to be on the road. So that's the chicken brooding setup. Tell you what, it's cheap. I'll figure out here, hang on. With the waterers and the feeders and everything into it, I think I'm into it for about $120. And that gives me enough to raise about 100 chicks. And I'm doing, I think, somewhere around 58 to start. So I'm way ahead. I got more space than I need by twice. But whatever. We'll talk to you. Thanks for watching. OneOwnerCarGuy.com.